Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Shadow and Sun Show, and welcome back for yet another TERRAN Trade Authority video. Although this one's a little different. In my researching of the TERRAN Trade Authority genre of books and games and lore, I came across another set of books, the Galactic Encounters books. I believe these were copyright 7980, also by Stephen Caldwell. Let's go here to the copyright information on the last page. Interesting. '79, that's correct. And this one, Aliens in Space, an illustrated guide to the inhabited galaxy by Stephen Caldwell. These appear to be somewhat more geared toward a younger audience, but I've not been able to find out if that's exactly true or not. It definitely has that feel to it, and they'd be great to bequeath to a younger generation, younger fans of science fiction. I would say around anywhere from 10 to 12 years old, if their reading skills are up to it. And it's like the regular books, chock full of some great artwork by a score of different artists. Let me show you a couple of my favorites. Some of them are not that great, I'm not going to lie, but there are a few in here that are remarkable. This one right off the bat is one of my favorites. It shows a famous anthropologist and his wife with I believe it was the celebrated Dr. Tansley, his wife, and an Alpha assistant from Alpha Centauri communicate with one of the primitive creatures he has christened Homo phoenicius. Many experts believe the latter to be similar to the missing link of man's own ancestry. Obviously, none of it's true, but the zeal in which they try to pull it off is quite fun. This one is right out of a Frazetta or Boris Vallejo tabletop coffee table book. A lot of fun stuff in here, and mind you, these books are only about 60-70 pages. Let's see right here, 62, 63, let's say 64 pages. This one is by far my favorite. Again, not very sci-fi. You have to actually look into the background to see more of a sci-fi element. You've got a human female fighting off, what was this thing called? It had a weird name. Oh, jeez. I can't find the name of it, but this book is a mix of sci-fi, quasi-fantasy, and then this one's probably my favorite because it reminds me of something that we created for the God Wars, where you've got a dragon-like creature harassing a starfighter of some sort. Maybe it's just an explorer shuttle, but again, this book is full of just all kinds of great inspirational lore and artwork and little short stories. And while it's touted as the illustrated guide to the inhabitants of the galaxy, there's probably not 60 actual aliens in its 60 some odd pages, which is a bit of a letdown. I was hoping for more of an encyclopedia of aliens, and I know there's a book like that out there, and I'm going to try and find that to add to this collection. But definitely, seeing as how they're on the much cheaper end of the spectrum, the TERRAN Trade Federation books are all about $100 or more a piece if you can find them. A couple of them I've picked up for much less. But on the average, you'd expect to spend about $100 for those books. These, you could probably get the entire collection for far less than $100. And I'll let you know what my overall expenditure was on this collection, because there are, I believe, 6 books. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 books in the series. Aliens in Space, Star Quest, the account of the first epic voyage beyond the perimeter, The Fantastic Planet, a description of the most mysterious world yet discovered, Worlds at War, the many aspects of warfare in space, Settlers in Space, colonization and the struggle for survival on distant worlds, and then Space Patrol, a profile of law enforcement in the Federation. And as you can see just by the titles and the blurbs there, you could easily use these to spice up any lower end sci-fi game without, warp travel, or even with, I suppose, a game like Twilight 2000, not Twilight 2000, Traveler 2300, is that what it was called? I thought I had that down here, but maybe Traveler 2300, or Star Frontiers, or a slew of other games that you could easily use these for great inspiration, and then having, great artwork to go along with, the ideas that you would borrow from said books. I thoroughly enjoyed this one, but to be honest, it took me about an hour to read. But again, for a younger audience, or if you just need some quick inspiration, you can thumb through and find the images that you like, and then read the 4 or 5 paragraphs pertaining to the image, and be on your merry way, with a lot of useful little tidbits here for a low end exploratory type sci-fi game. Anything with a low end sort of impact on the galaxy kind of campaign, or even some one shots with one of the Terran Trade Federation mysteries as being the plot for the adventure, if you will. Definitely glad to find out that there's more than just the 4 books for the Terran Trade Federation, and who knows, maybe there's more stuff out there that I'm yet unaware of. If you guys know of anything else that goes along with this line of more than just coffee table books, please let me know in the comment section below. I'm really glad that I found these, and I hope if you guys have recollections of these books as youngsters, or any time in your reading history, let me know, because these were a complete mystery to me up until about 2 weeks ago. And more stuff to add to fuel the imagination for the next sci-fi game that I run. I already noticed at least one thing in here that was very similar to something I'd already used in a game, and definitely a couple of things that I would love to throw into a game, and definitely the idea of a group of explorers stranded, marooned, or stationed on a world with primitives, kind of like in Thieves World. If you were to use Traveler and Thieves World, and have the Thieves World as a planet with a low-level starport that the adventurers have to mingle with, a medieval fantasy society, or just above cavemen, primitive Viking barbarian kind of intermix. Maybe even an excuse to bring one of those characters onto your starship crew, kind of like in Star Slayer, the comic book, where I think it was a Scottish Highlander was turned into a starship captain for a very advanced spaceship. There's just all kinds of great stuff that you can pull from the past that not everybody is using and not everybody's familiar with, especially if you're struggling with ideas for your sci-fi game. These books have just got a ton of new, fresh ideas from the past, of all places, that I just can't help but be amused at what's still out there waiting to be borrowed from, inspired by, and I hope this helps you guys out, for those sci-fi gamers out there that are looking to add a little more that isn't the same old, But that's what I've got for you this morning. I will be back tomorrow with something completely different, I hope. Maybe not completely different, but you know what I mean. I hope you guys are having a great week. I've got a busy rest of my week as well. I will see you guys real soon. And until then, happy trails.